Perhaps Wednesday was a little too close for comfort at times for South Carolina in what was the first game of the 2024-25 season in an exhibition game against Wooster on Wednesday here at Colonial Life Arena. But the Gamecocks, despite struggling at times, did pick up an 86-60 win over the Fighting Scots. And at one point in this game, South Carolina was only up by 2 points in the second half. They had a double-digit lead going into halftime, and then the Scots came out of the break on fire, went on an 8-0 run, and cut that lead down to 2 points. But after that, South Carolina really got it going, went on a 26-6 run. That ultimately proved to be the difference in the game. And look, you look at the box score, you think, okay, South Carolina was in complete control of this game. But that really was not the case. I mean, there were times where Wooster was up in the first half, had a lead, but South Carolina fought back, and then Wooster fought back, and then South Carolina fought back. So it kind of went like that throughout most of the night. But at some point, talent had to take over, and that's exactly what we saw in this game. South Carolina is too talented of a team to even think about potentially losing or keeping it tight against a D3 school. No disrespect. I mean, the Scots are a great team and all. That's what Lamont Paris was saying after the game here in the post-game availability. But overall, this is a South Carolina team that is coming off a 26-win season, has NCAA tournament expectations, looking to get back there for the second year in a row, and they weren't going to be losing this game. Now, we know that. But at the same time, they looked a little sluggish at times, looked a little sloppy. And as Paris put it in the second half, he was saying they looked kind of lethargic, a little bit careless. They took some shots, missed, a little careless with passing the ball around, a little bit same deal on defense. But at the end of the day, they got the win. And it started with Colin Murray-Boyles, who had 19 points. Cam Scott, Arden Conyers getting their first real action. Scott was making his Gamecock debut. Conyers notably redshirted last year, so this was his first legit action, and he was great. Both guys had 16 points, and then Jacoby Wright was the only other double-digit scorer as he had 10 points in this game. So overall, it was a really impressive night. The big thing that stands out is that Wright, Conyers, Scott all came off the bench and did what they did. So the bench tonight had 51 points in total. It was a really solid effort from those guys. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. This was a game that you knew you were going to get a lot of guys, and you didn't need to play all of your starters for 30-plus minutes. I mean, you saw Jamari Thomas only out there for, I believe, 14 minutes, and he only had 1 point in this game. And the reason for that, Paris was saying, was just the fact that he felt like, well, Thomas's defense was very strong at the beginning of the game. The offense was a little bit lackluster, and so he had great energy, but you wanted to try to get someone else in there, try to see what you can do, especially in an exhibition game where you could play a lot of guys, and that's exactly what happened. And when other guys came in, they stepped up and played really well. So overall, I thought South Carolina did a lot of good coming off the bench stuff. They really played well in the paint, I thought, for the most part, and they could have really dominated this game probably more in the paint with, I think they had 48 rebounds and had 20 second chance points. So that was great and all. And yeah, they probably could have won by more in this game, but it's an exhibition game. That's really all it is. I wouldn't look too much into it. Look, you go back to last year, South Carolina was trailing at the half against Wofford in their first exhibition game of the year, and they only ended up winning that game by 3 points, having a nice second half comeback. And then obviously, what did we know? South Carolina went on to have a 26-win season and make it back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2017. So wouldn't be too worried, honestly. I think South Carolina is going to be just fine. And look, there's a long season to go. We haven't even hit the first real game of the year, which takes place right here behind me next Monday night against North Florida, 7 p.m. tip-off on SEC Network Plus. I will be there providing live updates, coverage, and all that good stuff for GamecockCentral.com. So we've got a lot to look forward to this season, and yeah, the basketball season is officially back. So be sure to stay locked into GamecockCentral.com for all coverage throughout this basketball season. We'll have more coverage coming up with football here, of course, and baseball. But basketball is finally starting to heat up, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be going live for GC Live at the buzzer tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Going to have a few guests on to preview the men's and women's basketball seasons. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, hoops are back. So for GamecockCentral.com, I'm Jack Veltri.